Hey everybody, it's your old pal Brian Hunt. Welcome to another episode of 60 Seconds of Risk. And once again, we are back at Juno's Liquors to get an update from Steven Paul about what's been going on the past almost year now with his distressed asset turnaround. Good to see you again, sir.
Good to see you, Brian. Thank you so much.
Right off the bat, we can tell we've got some new paint, we got new floors. It definitely looks a lot better since the first day you opened the shop.
Yes.
So, first of all, talk about that process.
I actually like coming in and seeing the store now.
So you talk about the decision, the process to get the remodeling, because it was a pretty quick job.
Yeah, well, I mean, pretty quickly, once we had established what we wanted to do with the long-term vision of the store, we started looking for color palettes, and as you know, like we talked about, we want to make it feel like you're in a distillery-style environment, so we went with a lot of really warm earth tones.
Okay.
And then, thanks to your networking event, we met our general contractor and also partner in the store, Emmit Coots, over at STOOC GC.
And as just maybe you know, Emmit's been on this show before, and so you can go back and find his episode and how these two sort of connect.
Yep, and it was a really quick turnaround. It's like we got the store basically prepped on a Saturday and a Sunday morning. Emmett's crew came in, and the floors were done by the end of the first day on that Sunday.
Awesome.
And then the next day they came in, like light fixtures, AC vents, everything. I mean, it's basically a new store. Everything but the grid in the ceiling was replaced.
No, but it definitely visually is a nicer place, which you and I have chatted about. This whole concept of liquor stores, people buy these things and they're like rat holes. They're not clean. You don't want to be there. Be like, this is nice. It's clean. You can walk in with your kid if you're making a quick transaction.
We've had customers that haven't been in the store for a while come back in because we've been investing in marketing, and they stop in the door. They just don't recognize the store. They're like.
Yeah.
Like, first off, we have inventory on the shelves, which was a problem with the previous owner.
Yeah.
And then second, they're in an environment where, like, oh my God, it's like, it feels good. We always get people asking, it's like, why does it smell so good? It's like, because we got 4 air fresheners going.
I think the small things
count. It's the little things
exactly,
that customers notice. So.
Yeah, well, very good. So obviously, we talked about, I can see right here, but you don't see it. We got a second cooler.
Yep.
So as we talked about that, now the second cooler, you've offered at least some options on cold beer.
Yep, we're starting to bring in some beer, so we try to keep a limited selection of the fast movers. Modelo is one of the #1 beers right now in the United States, so we've got some of their stuff. Shiner being a local beer, we keep their stuff.
Some like go-tos.
Some of the more craft style stuff.
Exactly. And this is a craft store, so why do you have exactly makes sense. So then, obviously, we talked about, I think, allusion to talk about how business has been, say, since the past 4 months.
Summer was kind of flat. We kind of plateaued in the $35,000 to $36,000 a month range.
Okay.
And then from August to September, we saw a nice spike back to our traditional 15% month-over-month growth. So we went, we just hit the $40,000 mark. October, a little bit slower than I would have liked, but we did see some incremental increase. I actually need to get those numbers posted on LinkedIn so that everybody can see them.
Exactly.
Because I try to do that every month so
people
can see the progress.
Exactly.
But right now, halfway through November, we're tracking to where we'll probably be. I'm hoping 42 to 45,000.
Okay.
Still a little bit lower than the store traditionally did several years ago.
Yeah.
But we are continuing on that uptick.
And not to go on long, but we talked about this. Obviously, Texas was extremely hot this summer. And you made a good point as far as you saw a drop in activity because it was hot, therefore people were less likely to get a cocktail, but they've been maybe more inclined to get a cold beer.
Yep, and that's why we've started really researching and making sure that we're bringing in some of the right ready-to-drink things. Yeah. So Austin Cocktails has been really popular. Truly is, of course, always popular. High Noons those are some of the fast-moving ready-to-drink brands that we brought in.
Oh, very good.
So that we can have those cool offerings.
So talk about, we talked about this earlier off-site, off camera, wholesale, as far as what's been going on with that.
So wholesale, we had a lot of interest very early on, and then we ran into what a lot of small businesses run into is, okay, we have the interest, but how do we execute it? Because the interest we had exceeded the capacity of the vehicle we're using for deliveries currently.
Yeah.
So we, of course, had to do that analysis of, okay, well, we've got to buy a vehicle. We're reinvesting everything into the store right now, so do we want to take on that additional fixed expense? And then recently, driving down the tollway, I saw one of these trucks by Fluid Truck, which it's an app-based rent a truck by an hour, and these are full-size moving vans.
Okay.
That we looked at it, and at their hourly rate is more than cost-effective for giving us a short-term solution to having the capacity we need to meet the volume. So we weren't going out and over-promising and under-delivering, because that's the last thing we wanted to do with our wholesale customers.
So that's interesting, an app-based process, a new technology, new disruptor thought process, and now allowing you to do maybe a little wholesale at a cost point, not as tying up a brand new plant or equipment or whatever.
Yeah, so instead of making an $8,000 purchase and then financing that and having a $300, $400, $500 a month payment, depending on terms, especially with interest rates what they are right now.
Correct.
We can go and rent this truck for $15 an hour, which means we only have to deliver $500 of wholesale sales per hour to break even.
That seems pretty
and
smart.
And our average wholesale ticket is $1,000.
Okay.
So
pretty good. So what's next? What's the next on the horizon?
Next, we definitely are looking to execute on the wholesale now that we have an option that's affordable for us to scale that.
Okay.
The other thing is we did make an offer on a second store several weeks ago, and we are just waiting for that owner to make a decision or counter or tell us to go pound sand.
And where part of the Metroplex is that located? Without being specific.
Without being specific, it is an entertainment district in Dallas County.
So Dallas County, very good. So that'd be expansion, which we talked about.
Yep.
If you had a spot in Dallas County, therefore you could provide wholesale in Dallas County.
Correct, because right now we're limited to Tarrant County, because that's where our stores are.
And that's where state rules are left.
Yep.
Okay, very good. So, been almost a year now. Everybody's watching this. What would say one or two quick takeaways you would suggest somebody make sure they understand?
There are so many. If you're going to get into a regulated industry, make sure that you understand all of that before you get into it.
Okay.
Because we were learning on the fly. We had an opportunity, we pulled the trigger, and so a lot of, oh crap, can we legally do this?
Yeah, exactly.
So do your due diligence before just jumping into the deep end of the pool, for lack of a better way.
Yeah, because a more regulated environment is going to be costlier because you got to adherence, good governance, compliance with the regulations, and that can limit what you can or can't do as far as like moving wholesale from one county to the next.
Yeah, assuming we get this Dallas County store.
Yeah.
That county line distinction isn't just for where we can sell. We can't transfer inventory from store A to store B if we cross county lines.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And so that's where having strong inventory management comes in, because we might have something that sells really well out of store B, assuming we get it, that's a slow mover here. Well, in other industries that aren't as regulated, it's real easy to just move that inventory over there so that you're moving it.
You move it because it's doing better over there.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we're not able to do that in this particular industry.
Did not know that. Now we learned something. Great. Well, Sarah, thank you as always. We enjoyed the show.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
You bet. As always, if there's a certain topic or individual we have on the show, please let me know. Put a post out on LinkedIn. You can also subscribe to this video and the other videos on YouTube channel. You can also find these links on the website formerly known as Twitter, as well as Substack. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Have a great day.